Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I hope you're well. So today we're going to be talking about the mass rape case in France. So warning to everyone, this is gonna discuss a lot of triggering topics such as sexual abuse and sexual violence, incest, and also mass rape. So if you're sensible to that, you may not want to continue watching this video because it's quite a sensitive topic and it can be also triggering. So just so you know, please. Gisèle Pelicot was born in 1952. She lost her mother at the age of 9, but still believed that she had the most amazing childhood and a quite generic, like a normal childhood, very happy one. Dominic, on the other hand, was born in France and he had a pretty happy childhood, according to his brother. And his brother, in an interview, said that he was the most adored child and had very loving parents. The couple met when they were 20 years old and then got married when they were 21 in 1973. And later on went on to have 3 beautiful children. They had to get divorced in 2007 because her husband had run into some financial problems, which meant that they had to get divorced and then get remarried again. Friends and family would describe them as the perfect couple who always seemed so in alignment, and everybody just looked at them as an example. And nobody ever saw the darker side of him, because his brother, Dominic's brother, said in an interview that whenever something like swinging will be brought up, even on television, and any jokes that was relating to like rape or anything like that, he would find it very disturbing and he wouldn't want to discuss it. So when this whole story came out and broke out in 2020, it was very shocking to the world. In 2010, Dominic was actually fined for filming up on the girl's skirt and was fined €100, which his wife had no idea about. And when he was interviewed later on, when the story broke out about his wife and how he perceived his wife, he stated that his wife is basically an object to satisfy his sexual desires and pleasure, and she's there to serve him. Like, talk of a monster, talk of objectifying women, you know. Oh, basically, Ghislaine Pelicot and her husband and Dominic Pelicot were together for 50 years. They had 3 kids and 2 boys and 1 girl. So in 2020, this man Dominic was caught in the supermarket trying to film on the girl's skirt, and the bouncer basically came over, the security guy came over and was like, no girls, you need to go and report, like you need to report because this is not right, like it's not right, like. And the girls like, he was like, you must report. And I think I'm gonna come back to this bouncer later on, because I think it's good to know, especially with the not all men movement going on at the moment. So when this man came over and was like, no, you need to report, when the girls now reported, because he had already been on the police radar for something else absolutely irrelevant, they just sort of like seized all of his they seized his phone and started like making investigations. So when they now started making an investigation, and they just discovered a whole, I think it was all over 20,000 videos of him, or basically of him filming his wife getting abused sexually by himself, and also over 50 other men. These are like 70 other men, I think it was, but only 50 at the moment have been identified and are currently on trial in court. And there's so many more that we don't know of because he didn't film them. Maybe the camera died and all that jazz, we don't know. So but then we know of the ones that, you know, have been recorded. So this then begs the question, because this is a normal man and he was described as a family man and as an everyday man, and there's all types of career, all types of people that were on his to-do list, like on this list, on this platter of people that he recruited via meeting websites. I just wanted to add here, guys, that they had a whole website called Without Her Consent, without her knowledge, and applications and stuff like that to come and carry out this activity on his wife. So when all these men came to do it, not one of them raised the alarm and said, I'm going to report this to the police. Okay, fair enough, they may not report to the police because they know they've been naughty boys, but not one of them even tried to like say, oh, you know, ask for her consent. The excuse is the fact that her husband said, yes, it's fine, go ahead. Is her husband her? Because this then raised the question that we clearly don't have enough, or we don't have a deep enough understanding on the fact of consent, of the whole concept of consent, because someone else cannot give consent on your behalf. It doesn't make sense. And clearly men, and this is why they've called this the men's what they've called it in French, they basically call it like the process of our masculinity, because a lot of these men just thought, okay, if her husband is saying it's cool, then that means it's cool, because they've come to play a game, like they've come to play like a sex game as a 3 parts, so that all of them can just sort of like kiki and crack a good joke. But the issue is that they never once, not one of them, spoke to the victim. And furthermore, the thing is that some of them in that panel have even had ancestral they've carried out ancestral abuse. Not ancestral abuse, oh my gosh, what am I saying? They've carried out incest abuse. So all of these, they're all very sick men. And because there's like 50, over 70 of them versus one woman, it just begs the question, the proportion of men versus women that are willing to abuse willingly, which means that most men believe that the woman is their property. We are in 2024 and still men believe that another human being is your property. They have this very sense of authority, this sense of what's the word, this complex of superiority against women. For what purpose? And let me remind you, even your child is not you. You can't do with your child what you like. You may have brought him to the world, but someone brought you to the world, and someone brought that person to the world, and so forth. It's not you. And one thing that I think during this whole case, they've not quite mentioned enough of it, is the fact that they're trying to find an excuse for this monster. Okay, saying, oh, he was abused. We've all been abused, we've all been through shit, we've all been through the hard course of life. Like, so tomorrow we're all gonna be hard, like, you know, bad people. We can all be bad people, you know. Anyways, but that's one of the things that I get really passionate about this, because I think to myself, like, we're just trying to make an excuse, like, and I feel like the way that he has answered it, it makes it seem like he had prepared his answer before. It's not something that he just woke up because he was like, oh, I admit I am an abuser, and so are all these men. I was like, okay. it just seemed very rehearsed. He seemed like a very planned, very he's very planned, very composed. He's a master. Like, he's a master manipulator. And I think this is what I think we need to, all of us collectively, you watching this, me making this, need to think about the fact that the monster we've designed, or the monster we've been sold by Hollywood, he doesn't have unicorns and dress in red, or just go to this like a Nigerian movie, like he's an occultist. No, that's not the monster. The real monster is the one that you're with. The real monster is the one that you sleep with, is the one that you eat with, is the people that you interact with. All of them can be monsters. So this is what we need to start changing in our mind. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I wanted us to discuss in this video, and I wanted you to take from this video, is that the monster can be anyone. It can be your dad, it could be your mom, it could be your uncle, it could be anyone. And the minute you find that he is the monster, babe, run. Because one thing that I found out in this case when I was making my research was the fact that there was so many times previously that they could have caught this man, because he tried to abuse of this girl that they had brought into the house before, and the girl grew up and just left the house, and everybody was like, oh no, she's just trying to, maybe she's just being rebellious. The daughter, Giselle's daughter, told her at the beginning of the case, saying that, he also abused of me, but she was sort of like, Giselle was like, oh, really, babe? When she saw the evidence, she was like, sorry, love, because she couldn't believe the depth of it, because even she herself had an idea of a monster that is someone else. Oh, it's like someone waiting for you in the dark corners of the street in London. He's just gonna jump at her. No, it's you, it's me, it's anybody. The problem is that when you sense that he is run. We may not also get all the chance, so we can't also just blame ourselves because we didn't see it coming, because we never know. That's also one thing that I wanted to also make you know, that if you've been caught out by one of these bad people or whatever, don't blame yourself, because you didn't know, guys. We could all be victims. It could be my uncle, it could be my auntie, I don't know. And I'm not gonna sit down and think, oh, I should have felt it, I should have run. I don't know what you want me to do. God be to glory that I even have the chance to even figure out who the heck it is. Do you know what I mean? So don't blame yourself because you didn't find out. The only thing is that you should make it known, or if you know something in your level, just to report it. Because if they had investigated that little girl's case from early on, we probably wouldn't have had to come to this point.
One point that I wanted to make here, and I don't think I quite got to the point, was that Hollywood has basically sold us an idea of what a monster looks like. It's a rich man who's old, and he's going to just abuse of you, a bit like, PDD and all that stuff. But just this case also made us realize that someone can just be an evil person for absolutely no reason. Like, the day-to-day person that you interact with can be a monster, and it doesn't have to be the rich old person to do it.
But then again, I believe we had to come to this point because then it will make things genuinely change, because a lot of people will be looking at their husbands like, babe, could you be drugging me when I ask you for a cup of tea? Ooh, not to ask everybody to start being paranoid and that, but like, guys, we all need to be wary out here, because it's the ghetto. It's just very triggering, and I just commend her, to be honest, because she's just been so strong to being able to make it public, because she could have just made it all private. But I think it's such a good thing that she made it all public. And I think the reason law that the president was like, oh no, we don't need to make the video private. We need them to be private. We need this men to be exposed. We need to know, because if it's my uncle, my auntie, or whatever that is in that video, I need to know who I need to be wary of. I'm so sorry, because the idea is that we're not making it public because we don't want these people's family to be affected, but I think the family will actually be grateful to know who the heck their auntie monster is, or their nephew monster is, or whatever. I think they will actually be grateful to know. But then again, we don't know. We're just gonna keep watching and see what happens. But I don't think it should even be a long case. Lock them up for life. Case close. And it's the fact that the defense, obviously I know, like, you know, you have to play devil's advocate or whatever, but like talking about, oh no, he was abused as well. Babe, you think you're gonna get pity out of us? No chance. You're going to jail for life. And I think he actually only just started filming this thing because he felt like he could get away with it, because he's such a calculated individual. I think he really did plan this whole thing out many years. It wasn't a 2-day thing, it was at least a 10-year thing, and he probably was abusing of her maybe once or twice a year for the last 40-50 years that they've known each other. And in the last 10 years that they've known each other, he's just gone more wild with it, because he thought, okay, I'm 60 now, if I do this now, if I get caught, even if it's in 10 years time, I could be in jail until I'm 100. I just died there. You see what I mean? Because I think that because of the way he asked in court, oh, I'm an abuser, please, I know it's unforgivable, but please do try and forgive me. Do try. When you was filming under those girls' skirts, was you trying? Hey. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you wasn't too triggered. Like, I know it was not the easiest thing to watch, but we'll just keep you posted, and the case is still ongoing. I'm just waiting for the life sentence verdict, but then again, it's France. Their law is a bit astute, to say the least. The fact that these men could just be accepting consent for their husband, and the fact that this guy will be going to the gynecologist with her.
So guys, I've added all of the links in the video so that you guys can follow the case. As of now, Giselle has been nominated as one of the most influential women of 2024 by the BBC. It's not obviously gonna bring her years back, but it's gonna help her heal, with hope. It's gonna make her feel better at the very least. But yeah, so that's the update on that front. So we're just hoping and praying that these guys, but the prosecutors, they've requested for 20 years. I would have liked life or more, or I'll stop there because obviously I don't want to get stoned on the internet, but I would have liked a worse sentence, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, that's the update as of now.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.